Welcome to the Live, Live, Play podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Kinsella, and this is recording 2 of episode 3 because I pressed mute. Alright, so we are here in Berlin. We are sitting in the sun, waiting to go home. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about a 7 on the regards of being actually healthy after last night's escapades. But I'm here with a long-term friend and teammate and just like all-round good guy, Thomas Keating. And today, welcome to the show, Tom.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure. So today we're going to discuss a few things. We have a few things, just ramblings.
Yep.
Seeing as we're just waiting to go back to the airport, to be honest, so we thought we'd do something. And a podcast was on my list since I brought the microphone.
Yeah.
So today we're going to discuss, I think Thomas has a very interesting story to tell. I think people might kind of understand and relate to him a fair bit. And then we're also going to talk about coaching, because Thomas has been in the realm of coaching for the last couple of years. He's worked, he's hired, he's fired, he's all sorts of people. And then we're going to talk CrossFit. We were at an event, we were at Battle Cancer. It was a great day, great event, and we're going to talk about that. So Tom, firstly, welcome to the show. Secondly, you were... in school, you were one of these people, you were very active, very sporty, sports captain, all that. And if we had to kind of put our bets down, people would have probably pipped you to go straight into the fitness industry and not me.
Yeah.
But you decided to take a different route. You went into college, you come acting, and you did your whole, you got up, you knew you needed to do something, so you went to move to England.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. But
16 years ago.
16 years ago. 16 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
16 years.
So 16 years ago, Thomas up and left Ireland and chasing a goal, which, again, the journey is more important than the result. And Thomas, then, through it all, he had a bunch of different jobs while he was, he did a lot of stage shows, pretty successful in his own right. Excuse me, in acting, but then you were working, I think it was at Tesco's, and then a company headhunted you.
Yeah.
And then you worked for a phone company, and then a gym headhunted you. So tell us about when the gym contacted you.
As Stephen said there, school was a big sports field for me, big playground of athletics, cross country, football, Gaelic, all that kind of stuff. And then it was only until the guidance counsellor was saying to us, the same one that said to you couldn't do history.
Yeah.
Decker. What are you gonna do? I said, I haven't got a clue. I don't really know. And acting kind of got a bug for it when we did a couple of school plays. Myself and Stephen were in Greece, and then I just enjoyed being on stage. It was I was never one of these to be, and I'm not gonna. It was a good escapism for me, stage. Do you know what I mean? I was never one. I like being me. Do you know what I mean? But getting on stage, being someone else for an hour or whatever it was, and just kind of getting an applause was awesome. It was really, really cool feeling. I never got that in sport. Do you know what I mean? I never got that feeling. I just enjoyed sport. And the guidance counsellor said to me, he actually signed me up for the course you went and did.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do it, so out of kind of spite, we had a talk from Bray College, and they had a really good theatre programme in there, and I just thought, stuff it, I'm going to do that. And I was decent at it, I was good and enjoyed it, and that's what happened. And then went off, did me acting for a number of years, did quite well, as you said, and just kind of not fell out of love with it, but it was getting more and more difficult to just go out there and keep doing it. And it was just, you had to be in a clique, you had to be in certain things, it's kind of that way, but I just wasn't enjoying it. But then I have a big sales background, so I was always going through sales and working in phone shops, working in various different things. And then I got that opportunity to be headhunted from the phone shop with EE, which is pretty awesome. And then I wanted to get into fitness. I remember talking to yourself about it. So I put on a lot of weight.
A lot of weight.
A lot of weight. I was 14.5 stone, 5'2". Not a strong look in a short man. And
you looked. I swear to God, I remember the day I told you. I point blank said it to your face.
Yeah.
And your girlfriend at the time had gone to the bathroom, and I said, if you want to stay with this woman, you need to get yourself checked, because you looked like You look like you're in your 40s.
Yeah.
And actually, the comment I made was actually, you look like, God rest his soul, you look like your dad.
Yeah.
And you're in your early 30s. And I was like, dude, now. And you made the change.
Massive change, yeah. 14 and a half so at that time.
Yeah.
And it was, I made a change. Stephen kindly said he'd help me out. And so we went for it. And then, made a change. Started enjoying training again, started lifting weights, which I hadn't done much of before. And then just got a real bug for it. And it was great, it was brilliant, and it was the purpose, and you were getting fitter and stronger, faster, healthier again. And then I realised I wasn't happy in my job.
Yeah.
I was very good and very successful with sales and phone sales and running that side of things.
If you're, for people that don't understand, if you're getting headhunted, if other companies are coming for you, that means you are good at what you do.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that like he wasn't successful. It was just, again, there was something more that you wanted.
Yeah. And that was it. Like, and LA Fitness, who is no longer a company in the UK anymore, they came knocking, because they were very sales focused as a gym chain.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get into the fitness industry. They came knocking and went for a few interviews, and that was it really. Got into them, gym manager, and but I'll always say in that role I was more of a sales gym manager, because even though you were general manager for the gym with the PTs, with the coaches and trainers, and then you had a sales team, it was very sales focused, and that's then led me into working with other Pure gyms, so Pure Gym and then David Lloyd. So about 5 to 6 years now in the fitness industry.
I just like to be. I just want to kind of come back to this, and I want to like kind of certify, kind of just really kind of dial in on this. But as you worked for Pure Gym, LA Fitness, then Pure Gym took them over.
Yeah.
Then you were headhunted again, and then you got multiple offers, because the thing about Thomas was a man that could walk into any gym and turn it around. He was given the worst gyms, the hardest gyms, the ones that weren't profitable, and within 3 months he was making profits on these gyms. This man, that's what his good was. But not only happy with that, then he went into becoming a PT and personal training and working with clients, running boot camps. You ran boot camps, you do PT work. But actually, one of the questions that I kind of want to get to you is, like, you've actually had I have a team, of a small coaching team.
Yeah.
Because of what we do, it would be a small the company is not as big as you work with Globo gyms.
Yeah.
But you've worked with PTs, and like, for you, what does experience mean? Because like I hear this a fair bit, and obviously recently we've heard it about experience, and I think like a lot of it is bullshit in regards to experience to do what? What are you looking for experience for? Because like, if you're able to teach a squat and you're able to teach a deadlift, and you're able to teach what you want taught, that's what's required. If you're, so like for you, like based on your experience, like experienced coaches to young coaches, like you've seen it all. Like, you've seen guys that have been in the industry for years that are absolutely a waste of space.
Yeah.
And then you've seen guys that are brand new and actually excel.
Yeah.
So tell us, like, what's your thoughts on that?
Right, experience for me, it's great. It's great to have. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't make you the best.
No.
It doesn't make you the best coach. It doesn't make you the best trainer. Like, and again, from a sales background or anything like that, it doesn't make it. What I'm looking for, like when I was hiring trainers or coaches and stuff like that, it was about someone who had something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They didn't. Do you know what? Yes, legally they needed a qualification.
Right? Oh yeah, well yeah.
To come through the gym. However, it didn't always necessarily mean that I had the best person coming in with all the qualifications under the sun.
Yeah.
I wanted someone that had heart, bit of passion, empathy, humility.
Yeah.
Willing to learn.
Yeah.
And that for me trumps anything that's 15, 20, 30, 40 years of being in a business. Do you know what I mean? Because these other skills that we can get and train and coach and support and develop, do you know what I mean? If someone's got a willing to learn, do you know what I mean, then the sky's the limit for me.
Yeah.
If someone took a chance on me,
Exactly.
when I went to LA Fitness, I had no PT qualification, I had no coaching qualification. other than what I'd done just in fitness before.
Yeah.
I was a fan of fitness. It was a hobby. Someone took a chance and an opportunity to bring me into it and allow me into it. So I will always look to give that person a chance, an opportunity.
And that's the same with myself. Like I see something in everyone that I hire, I take on. I've seen, like, in all my coaches, everyone I've worked with, there's something about people when I see them. I've sat in a room, like you said, I've sat in a room with people with great CVs, and there's something about them that I just like. There's something not right there. And then, but everyone that works like for FSM is there's something about them. Now, they mightn't be the coolest person on the planet. They mightn't, like, everyone has their flaws, weaknesses, and strengths. But there's something about them being a coach, and as you said, having empathy, understanding, willingness to learn. That's the big stuff, and that's what, like,
That's stuff you can't teach.
that's the stuff you can't teach. And so I am proud of, like, what we have at FSM and going forward with that. But yeah, I think people get hung up on certifications an awful lot, and that's what, like, I remember, like, it's been told to me before, like, why don't you put your certs up in the gym? Because no one comes to my gym asking for my certs. Oh, but it looks nice. Yeah, but, like, my certs are in a dusty folder underneath my desk. And the reason why they're there is because it's something that I earned. Some of the certs that I earned, I didn't even have to do anything. I had to just attend. And in some of the certs, I had to work for. The main thing is that I've gone to weekend courses with the best coaches in the world and walked away with no certs, but more information on being a better person, being a better coach. Like, if you're hung up on what it says on a piece of paper, I think as a coach, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
No one, honestly, a good business owner doesn't give two flying fucks, excuse my French, to your certifications.
Exactly,
But again, and people jump on that bandwagon. Oh, well, they have this cert, that cert. I just think it's a bit like you can go get a cert in 2 days and open a gym in a week if you had you just need the money. Like, and there's people that do that. But
like, that's the thing. Like, do you know what I mean? It's more about, like, there's certain things, as I said, you have to have your qualification for, and if you're going to one-on-one coach, especially in the UK, you have to have your level 2, your level 3 personal training, gym instruction, stuff like that.
your base, you have your basics,
base stuff. Now, if you want to go on and do further education, further learning, that's brilliant also. But you've got to do it for the right reasons. If you're just doing it for the cert, then it's bullshit. Don't do it. No need for it. If you're going to do it to learn or gain and use it, so I went and got me level 4 S&C with the company I now work for.
Brendan Chaplin.
Yeah, Brendan Chaplin's strength and conditioning education.
Met that man a few years ago with Dan John. I think I've mentioned him in every. That's my goal. Mention his name in every podcast,
every episode. And I did that. But the reason I did that, now I was never going to go and use it for what I then ended up using it for. For me, it was about learning how to Olympic lift and coach it. I was getting into more CrossFit, so I was doing a lot more powerlifting at the time. Yeah, you were,
you actually competed in powerlifting.
Yeah, did 2 years of competing in powerlifting and did quite well, actually. But it was then when I started getting into CrossFit and I wanted to coach the Ollie lifts a bit more, get an understanding how to break it down. The CrossFit level 1, which we'll go into more CrossFit stuff later, it was just far too expensive at the time, and this gave me a good platform. But I then went on to use that thing, working with Woking Football Club, their academy side of things, being their S&C coach for a couple of years. But I brought that into my own personal training side of things. So there was a goal, there was a reason why I was doing it. I wasn't just going to get a cert. And getting certs for that particular reason, so you can bang it on a CV or on a profile in a gym, it's just bullshit. Some of the best PTs I've ever had, and trainers and coaches, are the ones that just have the level 2 and level 3 personal training. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They might have gone and done maybe a pre and postnatal side of things, which I actually feel is one of the more important things to get. But it's just a tick box for a lot of people, and it's bullshit. They come in, like I've got guys that were working in the industry for 10, 15 years, think they knew it all, think they had everything, and just couldn't pick up a client because they had no way of kind of talking to people, and they were book smart. That type of thing, and you're just like, fuck's sake, guys. And again, excuse my language there, but learn how to go and talk to people, learn how to be someone, do you know what I mean, rather than this just list of fucking qualifications.
But and the thing there is that, touching on what like you're saying, is people that assume that because I have this and because I know this, that you should automatically. No, you should automatically fall in line with my belief. No, if you're being hired or working with people, your job is to help them. It's not so they can do what you do. It's so you can help them have a better lifestyle. Unless you're training the highest end athlete. But like, I find that a lot. Yeah, like you say, you touched on the CrossFit cert. Like did you do it in the end? No.
Yes,
yeah.
I didn't pass my theory bit. I've still got to redo it.
So okay, so like so here's the thing, right? CrossFit, right? Now I've been part of CrossFit scene for over a decade, right? In Ireland, you would kind of go a little bit like a bit of an OG, right? Started, and I drank the Kool-Aid. I loved it. Got the cert. I'll tell you this, that when I did my first ever CrossFit cert, I didn't even have to do an exam. I just had to turn up for 2 days, and I was a certified coach. Now, I was already a personal trainer. I'd already gone to college. I'd already done a lot of other stuff before that. So my knowledge on fitness was good. And I learned, the seminar was great. It was a great weekend. Again, I won't knock anything like there. But if you're going to tell me that after 2 days you are a fully qualified coach, I'm going to call bullshit. I'm going to call big bullshit on that. And there's like again, don't get me wrong, this isn't a discussion about knocking CrossFit. I do really enjoy CrossFit. I love what it's done, but I think there's a lot, like anything, there's a lot of things wrong with it. And I think the certification side of things, now they've created different aspects of it. They've created level 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s, I think they're now, and that's cool. And if you're into CrossFit and you want to be certified, that's absolutely brilliant. But I think as a company itself, it's more of a money-making racket, because you can...
It's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. It's a business with a very, very good, strong marketing brand. And
well, even that's kind of declining. If you look at the stats now, it's actually starting to decline. Gyms are starting to, like, I de-affiliated from CrossFit a long time ago. I remember people weren't happy with me, and I was like, well, it was my choice. My gym has never been stronger. Do we do CrossFit style training? We do functional fitness. It's the same thing. CrossFit don't own any style of training. They own a name. Front squats, Olympic lifting, and metabolic conditioning was all out there before the name of CrossFit. CrossFit just made it popular. But again, as I said, I'm not knocking CrossFit. I do like CrossFit. Sure, we were at a charity event this weekend, pretty much predominantly CrossFit. But what I liked about Battle Cancer, we were at Battle Cancer. We raised €1,030 for Avian's Pink Tie, a children's charity in Ireland. I'm very grateful for everyone that donated. But we were at Battle Cancer, and even the organizer at the start was like, he spoke about obviously CrossFit and non-CrossFit training methods and boxes and gyms. That it's just one big community of people that want to help each other get fit and just like kind of impact as many people and just create a healthier way of living. And the point that was kind of made, and I admired it a lot. I was like, it's not the be all and end all to have a name, and what they're doing, and they're going to be doing like events all over the world. I think is amazing for charity. We actually had a great day. Awesome. Tom's team competed. We had 2 teams from FSM compete. But it was great. But yeah, how was your what was your experience on yesterday like? Obviously, we'll get back to we'll finish off with the CrossFit thing.
Yesterday was by far for me one of the best comps I've been to in a CrossFit functional fitness realm. It was fun, as they all have been before, but it was fun in a different way. It was on a beach in the middle of Berlin City. Do you know what I mean?
And it was hot.
And it was 33 degrees. It was warm, and you're doing 5 workouts. The longest one being 20 minutes, shortest one being 5, and it's all out. But like, do you know what? We met people from all over the world.
Yep.
Scotland, Iceland.
All over the world, Scotland.
Scotland, Iceland, Greece. Oh, there was just loads and loads and loads of people there. Australia, even, do you know what I mean? There was just tons of just people coming together, and that's like, again, that's what I like about what CrossFit used to have a lot of for a while, was that, do you know what? That doesn't matter what gym you're in, doesn't matter what thing you do, doesn't matter what your kind of fran time was. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was high-fiving, slapping each other. Do you know what I mean? Go for it, and it was all. That's what yesterday was about, and everyone was there for a big, fucking awesome reason of raising awareness about cancer. Do you know what I mean? Like, the guy asked the question at the start, hands up how many people have either been affected directly or know someone that's had
been affected by cancer.
Every hand went up. Now, there were 75 to 80 teams there yesterday.
Yeah.
And every single hand went up. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, shit. And the statistics do say it's 1 in every 2, and that was like, he said that's just more now.
Yeah.
And people don't check things. The big thing is, people go to the doctors when they're ill. People should go to the doctors when they're not fucking. Do you know what I mean? If they don't feel there's anything wrong, just go get checked up.
Yeah.
That's the shit that you need to be doing. But yesterday was all about that. It was all about just having fun for a big, great cause, but doing this for fitness. Yeah,
it reminded me of the old, and again, I harper on, like, as in, or the old kind of CrossFit, like, when you used to go to events, everyone would be more, like, they'd talk to each other all, and it just seems now, over the years, it's more about the competitive side, and, like, oh, we don't talk to them, and we don't do this, and we don't do that, and it's the evolution of the sport, it's the evolution of the business, right? That's the way it was always going to go. If it went bigger, you can't keep that kind of community. I find it funny now when I meet people that are all about, like, drinking the Kool-Aid at CrossFit, and you're like, oh, poor little person, like, you're going to go through this little cycle, and when you come out on the other end, we'll have a chat, because, like, I know exactly what you're doing, where you're going, and, like, it's part of the process.
You've been there before yourself, do you know what I mean?
And again, you can't talk to someone if they're all in.
No, if they're invested, they're invested, and that's it. Let them get on and let them have their journey. Exactly.
And I no malice to anyone. Like, again, it's this isn't a dig at CrossFit. Again, if you know me and you know me well, you know that I'm into CrossFit. I like CrossFit. My company is not about CrossFit. I have a different mission, but I try to keep it exciting. But yeah, it's more along the lines of I want to make people healthy and happy. If you are, like, a competitor and want to go to the highest level, that's a different ball game, and it's not healthy, by the way, because no athlete is a healthy person. They're training for something, and they're putting their body on the line, under pressure. It needs to be an outlet, it needs to be an environment, and you need to be surrounded by positive, not fake people, not people that blow smoke up your ass and then will talk shit about you behind your back. Hashtag dig. But you only want to be surrounded by people that, like, all I want to do at FSM, and Thomas wants to do at his job, is to make people better. But Battle Cancer, it was a great day, it was a great event, everyone was having so much fun, and it was for charity. It was, but
never going out there. Like, and the thing is, I'm competitive. You know I'm competitive. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we've always had that edge to us now. But do you know what? When I was playing football, played football to a decent standard back home in Ireland.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to be a fucking pro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knew that. Do you know what I mean? But I enjoyed it. I never went out there to be a pro. I just wanted to enjoy what I was doing, and that's what yesterday was all about. Don't get me wrong. If we had won something, fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah.
But I wasn't going out to win things. Do you know what I mean? Yesterday. And most comps I go into, like, whether it be CrossFit, whether it was even powerlifting when I was doing it, I was going out there just to
better yourself.
Yeah, just like, do you know what? Powerlifting's a prime example. I was always going in to lift three lifts and do a PB.
Yeah,
that was it for me. Couldn't care less if I came 50th or first. Right. Same yesterday, same with CrossFit. I'm going into Castle Games in 4 weeks.
Yep.
Top 50 went through the online qualifiers with myself and my partner Luke in the cards. That's partner is in team partner, by the way, before we get onto any
wasn't gonna go there.
Obviously
that's in your head, like.
Yeah. But the thing is, I said to him, he was like, oh, do you think we could do well? I said, listen, if we do better than what we did in the qualifiers, I'll be happy. If that's what we place. I want to try and get a little bit better than we did in qualifiers. And that's how we're going to all the competitions now. We talked about this yesterday and last night in depth, like, you see some people that are in teams and on teams, possibly shouldn't be on teams.
Yeah.
I mean, because of how their mentality is. Not a dig at anyone in a sense, but the mentality is a bit more individualistic, which is fine. Go out and do it though. Do you know what I mean? For me and like most people that we train with, we associate ourselves with, we're hoping to go out there just to have a bit of fun, have a laugh, have a crack. Like, when we're in the same heats with all the people, like yesterday for example, we're laying down in the sand before every workout.
Yeah,
and laughing and joking before 3, 2, 1 go happens.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we went out and pissed the night before. Do you know what I mean? And had a great day still of it.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. You just need to do that in your training and your just if you're going out to win, then go out to win, but train somewhere that has that around you.
Yes.
That has athletes that are there in the same mindset. And what you do at FSM, back home, what I do over in the UK with me, even when I'm coaching the academy side of things, it's not about. It's about having a like-minded mentality, and just making people fitter, healthier, better versions of what they want to be, and just kind of making them move.
Yeah.
And say like, bulk of my personal training clients are 50 plus.
Yeah.
I think I've got one that's in the mid-20s. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather coach people that just want to be fitter, faster, healthier.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the mindset.
Better quality of life.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And what I had, I could barely walk upstairs at one point.
Yeah.
Without getting out of breath or.
But that's another thing. Sorry, the squeaking is Thomas leaning back and forth on his chair all the time. But that was the actual point I want to come back to, because one of the things that annoys me a lot in the coaching world is that the aesthetical look of a coach.
Yes.
Now, obviously, a coach should be someone that's training and active and eating healthy and stuff like that. But if you're basing your gold on your who you join a gym with, like, find out the story behind the coach. Find out the people that you're going to invest in, not just the look of them. Because, like, Thomas, as he said, he was like 14 and a half stone. He's a small guy, so that didn't sit well on his body. Didn't look healthy. He wasn't healthy, to be honest. And he knows how hard it is to change. He knows, like, I think you were drinking like 3 cans of Coke a day,
and the rest.
And like, he had to make all those hard decisions that most people have to make. So he gets it. And I think that, as a coach, a person that's actually gone through the journey of the like how hard it is, can relate to people a little bit more. Now, I'm not taking away from anyone that's always been healthy and then promotes health, and because there's great coaches out there that have always been like that. But he knew the struggle, and he's been through the struggle. And I think that's a big. That's how you can relate to someone a little bit more
it
as a coach.
Definitely helps. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it definitely does, because you can understand a relationship with food.
Yeah.
I mean, good and bad. Like you said, three cans of Diet Coke a day was a light day.
Yeah.
Probably eat about 6 or 7 packets of crisps easily as well. There's little things like that, and you're just gonna coming away from that. Like, and then I remember doing the paleo challenge with you before.
Yeah.
That was tough. Like the beer, still like a beer. Don't get me wrong, but do you know what? It's definitely helped me with becoming a coach, in the sense of understanding what someone's going to go through when they have to do it. Do you know what I mean? When you want to make a change, sacrifices they have, and just having that. My relationship with food, and it still is. My relationship with food can be very, with lack of a better word, just poor judgment. Do you know what I mean? I have if I'm stressed, if I'm upset, you know what I mean? I don't have a relationship that where, and as a coach now, like, I know I have to. I'm stronger now in the sense that if I want to eat something crap, because I'm feeling a bit down or a bit stressed, I make the choices now of, do you know what, I can make a healthy meal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whereas before I didn't. So it was changing the mindset, and mindset's a big thing that everyone says a lot. Not a lot of people do it.
Yes.
Which annoys me as well when people say that's all about mindset, it's all about this. Yeah, it is, but you've got to do it. It's all well and good saying it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, for me, like, I haven't been, say, a coach as long as you. Do you know what I mean? But I'm always trying to. Like, it's that empathy side of things. Do you know what I mean? If someone knows that you've gone through it, it's easier to get them on board and understand why you are doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and you understand them as well.
yeah.
That's the other thing. So, like, and as I said at the start of the podcast, like, Thomas's story is I said, it's one that I think is quite good, and I think more people should know it. And if you are looking to become a coach, or you're not sure about a gym that you want to join, find out more about the owner, about the coaches there, about who these people are, and then make your decision. But yeah, if you're looking to become a coach, don't worry about the certifications. If you are passionate about your job, then it will be a good job. If you're just about the certs, like we said earlier, you're like, you know what, the statistics are 80% of all personal trainers quit within the first 2 years. You know why? Because they thought they wanted to be a personal trainer because they like fitness. If you like helping people, be a personal trainer or a coach. If you like fitness, just do fitness. That's it. That's what you need to know.
And you made the point on your last one, and on your last podcast with the lads.
Yeah.
And it's a big misconception of being a trainer or a coach in the fitness industry of it's a handy job.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, from the outside looking in, it does look like that.
Yeah.
It looks like that. You get every chance to train, you get everything, and this is unfortunately the world of social media as well. That 5 minutes of someone's life.
Yeah. It's bullshit.
It's not real. Do you know what I mean? And like, I went through a tough time, and I'm not going to go into it too much detail, but of a breakup and stuff like that. But one of the things that got brought up is like that you get that. Well, I see you doing your Monday night workouts that we used to do at Pure Gym when the gym closed.
Yeah.
Like we were waiting for the cleaner to finish up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we had a half an hour from 9:30 to 10 o'clock before we all went home. So we always then did a workout.
Yeah, so you used the time you had rather than sitting on your ass
Yeah.
on your phone.
And I'd always film it. There was a Facebook Live. There was all that. But that half an hour would see people going, "Oh, Tom has the life of Riley there.
Yeah,
he's living
yeah.
it. He's doing this, and he's getting everything he wants." They don't see the 12 hours that
That you
I've
have
just
to put
done
in, yeah.
of dealing with members that are unhappy, dealing with staff that are unhappy, me banging my head, me crying in an office once because the car parking situation of my gym wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Because people are shouting and screaming at me. People didn't see that side because they didn't put it on social media.
But they don't, because they think they forget that like the person that they're dealing with is a human. Because if it's a business, they feel that they can vent all their woes on you.
Yeah.
But that's your job, right? I get that, but also it is a human. Like when people we've a saying in the gym. It's kind of like you love your member you love them on the way out as you love them on the way in, and it's hard as you say, you get members complaining about the building, the programming, the hours, the pricing, the coaching. They complain about and these are ongoing things. But then when you stand on the floor and you post on Facebook, you're not going to post that stuff because you're trying to promote what you do. And these days, as I said, I go home and I vent to Susan, and as I said, Susan listens to me, and then she knows all the shit that goes on.
Yeah.
But it's a tough, but you need to be. If you're not passionate, it won't last. It won't work.
And that's it. And you've got I'll always remember this. The guy I'm doing the Compton 4 weeks with, Luke Gauntlet, nice fella, really really good lad, very quiet fella when he first started, right?
Yeah.
And I remember sitting down and having his interview. His mum was a member of the gym. He went off and did his personal training certs, looking for a job. Now, I saw something in Luke. He was a nice fella, right? But he had a passion for wanting to help people. He wanted to get into it, do you know what I mean? My assistant manager at the time said, "No, don't hire him.
Yeah.
He's not good enough. He won't do this. He won't do that. He won't get enough business. He'll be out in that 2-year bracket." The thing is, 3 years later, Luke's got a thriving business, still in the same job, still doing well, got a good and he's just grown. And now that's what I said earlier about.
You've seen something in him.
Yeah.
Like I've seen something in my coaches, like Dave, our senior coach, like Lee, Reen, Alex. I see something in them that's going to make them. They're good coaches already, but they're going to get. And the other thing, they're already good. They're naturally gifted to be good at what they do, and then they're actually only going to get better, and that's what I love about it. And if they ever go off and do their own thing, I'm supporting them, obviously, once they tell me that they're going to do that. Like, they don't just jump ship,
and that's it. You've always got to remember, we've always spoken about this, remember where you came from.
Oh, yeah.
Remember
who helped you. Remember who helped you how to squat. Remember who helped you how to lunge, how to do a sit-up, how to look at stuff, how to coach stuff.
Yeah.
People are too quick to forget all the work you put in, the extra time and effort and the chats and the conversations.
And that's the thing.
And then they drop it. I remember my first job. I remember the people that helped me. I always remember the people that gave me help and the people that didn't. And my fitness journey was a lot different to most people's nowadays because I started in a different era of aerobics and stuff like that. Yeah. But I always still people ask me about one of my former bosses, and I said that man is a knowledge box. You ask him questions because he was willing to help you. Oh no, he's a bit tough, he's a bit mean, he's a bit this, he's a bit that. Yeah. I said that's because you're not doing the job. Do the job. Ask him for help when you need it, and he will be your friend for life. And I have a very, very close relationship with that man still. And today, I will ring him if I have questions. And you know what? He is always willing to give me 5 minutes of his time.
Yeah.
Like I would give anyone 5 minutes of my day if they were genuine.
And that's it. You spot on like with that. Like, do you know what I mean? You've got bosses that you still talk to. Like I the same. I've got people that I have worked with. You know what I mean, that I still talk to for help and support. Like whether it be like a director, do you know what I mean? Things like that. Whether it be a coach or whether it be someone just within sales, and it's always, I think, like a measure for me of a good boss or a leader. Or I don't like using the word boss because I just think, I don't know why.
I prefer to use leader than boss. Yeah,
and that's it. But it's like I get people that work for me, and again, I don't like using that term, but it's just the way it is. But that work for me in sales that still call me up about references. Yeah. Like from 10 years ago, like saying, Tom, can I use you as a reference? And that to me stands the test of time. Yes, I was a hard boss, I was strict, I did this, but I always lent my time to support them, to help them, to grow them.
Well, the other thing, a leader isn't there to be your friend. A leader's there to be, it's like a parent. Like you're not your child's friend, you're the parent. That's why you can't be giving them everything, and that's why as a boss or a leader or someone that employs staff, you're there. They do the job, and I'll give you my time. Yeah. But don't I'm not your mate, right? If it happens and we have a relationship and that's awesome, and that's obviously a bonus, but it's not necessarily, at the end of the day, you're employed to do a job, and if you don't follow the rules, like I'm strict on a lot of things I do because I need work done. But ask any of my team, have I ever refused them time off? Have I ever refused any request that they've asked about doing anything? I will, if I have to say no to something, I'll give a valid reason for the reason why I'm giving no. I'm not just doing it to be petty. Yeah. But so there's really good experience. Like, so two coaches. One, I've been in the industry a long time. Thomas is still kind of new to it, but still very the same thing comes across because we communicate the same. We put it out there to everyone, is that we want to be helping people. So we're gonna flip it now. We're gonna talk about CrossFit. We're not gonna touchy. I know we touched on it earlier, but I want to talk about CrossFit. I want to talk about where CrossFit's going, what it's doing. So CrossFit is it's I don't know, 10, 12, 13, 14 years, 15 years old. The last kind of 5-6 years, it's really become prominent. It's actually starting. I think it's actually starting to decline in regards to affiliations around the world. The thing for me, what CrossFit did, CrossFit literally made fitness
become cool again.
Cool. It brought it back. It brought that aspect of being in a community, and that to me is what I kind of like. When you say CrossFit, I think community. Now, my gym is not associated with CrossFit, but we still like that aspect of we have a box
and stuff like that, don't you?
Training in groups, supporting people, community, and I love that side of it. And they don't, like, CrossFit doesn't own that across the board. But as a company, obviously a lot of things have changed at CrossFit. They've sacked a lot of people, CEOs resigned, a lot of people are talking about what's happening. Is it going to shut down? Here's the thing, Greg Glassman is, firstly, he knew what he was doing from day one. He grew something that literally just took over the world at a point. Yeah. I don't feel it's there anymore. I think the community, because it got so big, the community was a little bit lost. And that's not just from me, it's from people I talk to. A lot of gyms de-affiliate. Greg Glassman has a different mission now, and he's not concerned about you. He's concerned about his business and health and making people healthier. He's not concerned about that aspect of it, and that's okay. You know what? It's okay to be like that. It's okay to go a different direction. And
if I'm gonna, I'm sorry to put over you there, but in my opinion, I don't think his mission, I think, is still very much the same of what he dealt with at the start. He was always about
by the way,
the health side of things and stuff like that. And
CrossFit started in a gym, a Globo gym. Yeah. It was a personal trainer who wanted to make more money and start training more people for
that
less
time.
money. So you end up more people were paying less. So he actually was a personal trainer who trained small group training and made more money. That was literally the philosophy that started up. Then it grew on that. So let's take it all back. Personal trainers, right? It all stems from that. It all stemmed from Globo gyms. It all stemmed from then renting a small space to a warehouse, and that's where it all came from. But like, if you say, "Oh, well, they created the box gym," well, DeFranco's gym was out well before CrossFit, and he was in a warehouse and stuff like that. But like Tom, where do you like? You went to the regionals last year. Well, one of the last regionals actually.
The last
regional. Where do you think CrossFit's going?
I very much think that the sport took over massively.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are like lost on that and what actually CrossFit is and the sport of CrossFit. I think they're lost.
It's so different. Do you mean it's so different? The sport of CrossFit's awesome. It's fucking amazing. And being at regionals last year was phenomenal. Seeing some of the things that them athletes can do is brilliant. But that's not what CrossFit was founded on. It was founded on, as you said, a personal trainer looking to make more money with a different style of training.
And impacting more people, making people healthier. Like
exactly
50-year-old Mary deadlifting weights.
Yeah.
That's the heart and the core of it.
And that's where it needs to go. I personally think what's going to happen now, said this yesterday, I've said it now for the last kind of 6 months, as soon as they started doing the sanctional events, which I think is a better format in any way. I love the regionals, don't get me wrong, but I think the sanctional setup is much stronger. But when that all started to kick in, the resignations, the sackings, the condensing of the company, I do think CrossFit I don't think it's just going to be the games. It's going to be road games, and I think then CrossFit sport as a sport will come away from being a CrossFit. I think there might be even a de-affiliation there in the next 5 years.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Don't think the CrossFit name will be on the games anymore.
No, because someone's going to mass market. Like, you got to think of like the Functional Fitness Federation are trying to get into the Olympics. If they get into the Olympics for 2028, which is their plan, then like guys are going to then national governing bodies of sport in every country will be then putting money into athletes to become Olympians at functional fitness, and I think that's got, and as much as CrossFit is like kind of trying to move away from the sport of CrossFit. That's where it's all going to go, and then people are going to join gyms that are affiliated to like Olympians. So I just think it's going to become it got to a point where at its height, I say CrossFit at its like biggest would be about 2-3 years ago, and I think it's slowly declining. The mass de-affiliations. I remember being one of the first gyms in Ireland to de-affiliate as a CrossFit, and then within that year, a bunch of people do. I remember talking to a few coaches that were afraid and didn't know what to expect. I was like, if you do a good job, like if you're going to a gym because it has a CrossFit name on the front of it, like if that's the only reason you're going, okay, that's cool if you love CrossFit. But realistically, there is some really good coaches out there, and I have a lot of friends that have a lot of have boxes all over the world. There is also an awful lot of shit out there, and that was one of the reasons why I did affiliated, because I didn't want to be associated with a bad system. I didn't agree with the 2-day seminar. I didn't agree with the certification. I thought it was very basic. It was a great weekend, and you did learn, but I don't think that gives someone the knowledge to work with people, because you need to understand an awful lot more about it.
And that's it. Like I got 2 friends of mine who have just opened a box. Great coaches, do you know what I mean? But James is a CrossFit fan, right? Yes. Brilliant guy, good coach, but he was a fan of the sport, do you know what I mean? And he was a fan of the training. He was a PT client of Chris, who's you know Chris from the Arc Throwdown. Chris is a beast. Man's a beast. Unbelievable athlete. But again, do you mean? But I asked him why he went down the CrossFit route. Why didn't he not just call it Box Made, which is if you're in Shepperton in the UK, go to it. It's cracking box. Good community.
Did not people. Get endorsed to say that.
No, I didn't. Sorry, but it is. But the thing is, they've got the right idea. But the only reason they're paying the affiliation fees is to get on the map at the moment. Do you mean? Because
and most people do that. They get on the map. Yeah.
And that's it. It's get onto the map, because when people are looking for CrossFit, because it's that brand and that title. that's where they're going to go to. Do you know what I mean? They're going to type in CrossFit and they're going to see that one.
Yeah.
And that's what the affiliation fees are all about. I don't think you get enough support from them. I'm not knocking CrossFit, but there's a lot of things that...
You get no support from CrossFit.
No.
Let's be honest. I was a CrossFit affiliate.
Yeah.
I know. You get nothing.
But the 2-day course, I do think... Again, I've been on it, you've been on it, and you
personally,
can't really,
if you want to open a CrossFit, my honest opinion, if
You
you
need
want
to be a level 3
you should
CrossFit
have
coach.
you have to do all like 3-4 certs. I
Yeah.
think there should be a constant education, and then there should be some business mentoring, because you're letting people open up companies and literally quit their jobs and open up businesses, and then they get lost.
There was 5 people on my course, right? There was 22 of us there, and 5 of them were not even there as personal trainers or business. They were there because they wanted to open up books because they had the money to do so. Now, I'm not, like, again, because I was a big person, I don't think aesthetics in trainers, as you said, and I'll come back to a point that we were going on a minute ago, like, these guys were not in shape.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Were members of boxes. Do you know what I mean? Had a bit of money behind them.
I love that one, because you train at one. You think you should open one? Yeah, no.
And that's where they were going with it. Do you know what I mean? That's what was in. It was a great 2-day. You learn a lot of stuff. Learn, like, the things like coaching someone with a PVC pipe before they let them on loose on certain things, showing them how to do that properly, and the certain things that you do. But then, do you know what? That's no right to open a business.
No.
In my head, it's not.
No.
Do you know what I
I
mean?
like everyone's free to do their own thing, but I just think that if you're going to try and help people and you're only helping them because you think it's something different, like, again, all comes back to, are you actually passionate? Like, I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do. But, like, one more thing before we wrap up, because I actually got to go ready and get on my plane. The CrossFit Games, right? Here's my point in the CrossFit Games. A lot of people talking about the cut and all that. I thought the CrossFit Games this year was actually quite good. And the reason why I thought it was, when people got cut, there was all the people, they got cut only running and they didn't get to do proper CrossFit. I said, the definition of CrossFit, as far as I'm aware, is...
anything goes.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
Yeah. What's the actual terminology? There's I used to know broad-based functional movement performed over time with high intensity. So I used to know it off the top of my head. But yeah, running is part of fitness. So the people got cut. And here's the thing, right? If the last 10 people on the day were random people that no one knew, then I'd be like, okay, maybe they made a mistake. But the person that won it the last 3 years in a row, and the girl that won it the last 2 years in a row, won it again, that means it was nothing to do with the cut, is you were not good enough. And I'm not, like, these athletes are phenomenal athletes. They got cut because they weren't good at a certain thing. They weren't good enough to get there. And the best in the world were still good enough to get there, get through, and win. So I actually thought the CrossFit Games this year was actually very, very fun. It was entertaining.
My favourite.
And it was my favourite. And like you said, I think in a couple of years, just another company is just going to run a bigger competition and it just won't be called CrossFit.
I personally think Rogue's going to come in and do it. The Rogue Invitational, for me, was the best sanctional last year.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And the prize money, someone's going to offer more prize money than the games.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be
already doing it,
and that's going to be the number one comp of the year, because at the end of the day, when you're a high-end athlete, you want to make money. If you want to make it lifestyle, you're going to go to the people that are going to give you the most money.
And that's it. And if you look at, like, I'll come a couple of points, but what you're saying, you look at James Newbury this year. James Newbury knew once he got in that top 10, he was golden, right? He knew he wasn't going to win it, right? However, he went out and won them workouts and blasted it. Those 2 sprints, and he blasted it. But they said, why did you do that? And he goes, well, I knew when that workout got announced, he knew he could win that. Yeah. It's $3,000 to win an event. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? One event.
So he sacrificed himself for money.
And for that money, and that's what's going to happen, as you said, with the side of things.
They'll cherry pick. They'll cherry pick their events. People won't go to the games because what's the point? Yeah. If they know they're not going to win, why would you go and waste your time?
That's the thing. Like, for me, the cuts this year were fun. I do think the top 10 happened too early. I think it probably should have happened a little bit later. I think they should have had 20, and I think 10 should have went into Sunday rather than happening on a Saturday. Yeah. That's my only beef with it. I think that was a bit too early. We did lose a lot of people, but you're right, they weren't good enough to move forward. And that's the end of it. That's
sport.
That's shit. Yeah, that happens all the time. First year of how it's done, they made the mistakes. They'll fix them. Yeah. They'll redo stuff. They'll do that, and they won't do this. And
I'm looking forward to next year. I'm looking forward to seeing the sanctionals and stuff like that. And the Filthy 150 this year in Ireland is going to be awesome.
We got. That's the thing. What this year allowed to happen as well. like, yeah, there were people that were going to the games knowing that they're probably going to go on the first day,
Yeah.
right? However, two of our best athletes, well, our best athletes in Ireland, Emma McQuaid, we know, has been knocking on the regionals door
Yeah.
for years and years, and probably should have got to games sooner,
Yeah.
and managed to get there this year.
She did.
And she was, what, 21st? 22nd?
Brilliant.
Unbelievable. Michael Smith, do you know what I mean? Got down to top 20, didn't he?
Yeah, it's,
Do you know what I mean?
it's
That
good.
wouldn't have happened if this season wasn't like the way it was.
Exactly.
And that's what needs to happen. I do think they know what they're doing. I think Glassman knows what he's doing. I think Castro knows what's happening as well.
Yeah.
And I do think that, yeah,
I think the functional. I think CrossFit will, like the functional fitness will kind of just. It's growing. The sport's growing. I just think it's going to go in a different direction. I don't think, like you say, like Greg Glassman has his own views of where he wants to pull his company, and he's more than knowledgeable and entitled to
health
do
and nutrition is what
to
it's
do
gonna be.
that, which is health and nutrition. And guess what? That's what it was founded on, people. It was founded on health and nutrition. It was about making people better. It wasn't about the sport.
And that's what
and he's going back to his roots, and I think I admire him and I applaud him for that. But yeah, like people that lost their jobs, and I've just, that's horrible. But he's following what he's doing what he needs to do, and like I'm looking forward to seeing what CrossFit Health is going to do long term. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it's an intriguing journey that they're on. I like watching it. But guys, we're going to wrap up this podcast because it is like this is a long podcast. But as I always said, Thomas, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on the show. We got some cool people coming up again. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on Podbean and on YouTube and the YouTubes. This will be an audio on YouTube as well. And guys, we'll be back with you next week. Remember, lions don't concern themselves with sheep. Have a good day, and I am out.
Nice.